Conversate for a few.
Welcome to the next episode of Conversate for a Few. I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This is not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely is not. This is a podcast about hip hop. What we doing today, bro?
We talking about what we miss in hip hop.
Okay.
And would you like to give the Tang Clan, the new listeners, some background on this episode and why it's a great episode, but then it's also a sore spot for us as well?
Okay. Crazy, yo. So this episode is probably, it's almost exactly 3 years old.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost exactly 3 years
Right.
old. The first time we recorded this episode, my little brother came through. And he chopped it up with us. And we had a good episode, man. It was probably 2 hours of conversation.
What?
But the beauty of that is, was that 3 years ago or 4 years ago almost now?
I think
I'm going to tell you why I asked that.
it's 3. I think it's 3, but it could be. I wouldn't be surprised if we really do the numbers and it's 4.
I'm going to tell you why I think it's 4, right?
Okay.
Because the day that we recorded the original of this episode, my brother told me that his wife was pregnant with their second child.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he'll be 3 in
Probably
April.
about 4 years. Yeah.
So it's about 4 years because it took about a year for him. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So It's been about 4 years since we recorded this, and that was the day I found out I was gonna be an uncle times due. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So shout out the great Jordan Avery and the amazing Jalen Chamberlain Carter Avery. That's how we do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Jimp the Nubs too. There's a whole bunch of code names. This is how my family do it, yo. We ain't criminals or nothing, but we don't call nobody by their real name. But yeah, so we just covered, things we missed in hip hop, and you had a real good conversation, and I think we're gonna just continue that today.
Right. And and unfortunately the sore spot is that we lost that recording.
But that's definitely a sore spot. We lost mad recordings. We lost like 5 or 6 episodes.
We lost like 5 or 6, and 5 or 6 great episodes, because that one with your brother here, that was probably one of my favorite episodes.
That one and the one with Chink, Vonado, and Paul and Kelly that day. Yeah, we had the whole squad in that day. That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah. That was when the Nicki Minaj success prediction was made. It was dead on.
Chink was dead on. Yeah, that was A&R Chink right there. We call him A&R Chink on that one. He killed that.
Chink was on it.
Yep.
Word. But so what do you want to pick up? Because I already know a few things that I want to, deal with. And I know some things that we said before will probably come up. And I know we have some new ones too.
I'm certain.
And so I'm just going to let you go. What is one of the things that you miss in hip hop?
Well, I kind of want to do it like this, right? So how about we throw some things out there?
Oh, okay.
And then go back through the ones that we threw out and compile a top 10.
Oh, okay. That's good. I like that.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we'll do it in kind of 2 parts. We'll just kind of brainstorm a little bit and throw some ideas out there, and then we'll kind of whittle them down and say these are the top 10 things that are missing for us. And then we can just let the crowd say, yo, y'all list is trash, or we agree. You know what I mean? However they want to do it.
Yeah. Side note.
Yeah.
To the listeners, they can tell we don't plan our shows.
Nah, and we should.
We could have said that beforehand if we wanted to, but we don't. We want to talk about it as part of the show.
Right. Yeah, that's the whole point.
So the people get to see the show develop and take form in front of their eyes.
Right. I think the beauty of it is we call it Conversate for a Few, and they literally get to see the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
If just out anywhere with your friends talking, y'all don't go into a pre-planned music conversation.
Right.
It just naturally come up and you all just have a conversation.
Yeah, and that's what we about to do. And that's what we always do.
Right.
I know it's something that wasn't on I don't know why my eyes watering today. I think I may be having allergies, so y'all forgive me. But something that was not on my original list that I think is important now, and it's something that me and you talked about here recently.
Okay.
Bro, I kind of missed the third verse, bro.
Yo, I ain't gonna front, and maybe I'm saying maybe this is nostalgia speaking, but like that might mess around to be my top one.
The
I
third
really
verse.
miss the third verse.
Yeah.
I really.
Yep. Like you rarely. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know if I missed the third verse as much as I miss songs that make me enjoy a third verse.
Okay, I understand.
Because nowadays I find myself on songs that are a little longer that do have a third verse. I find myself sometimes disinterested. But I don't think the songs are structured in a way that you need the third verse. I think the songs are structured in a way that it's more around the hook and the melody. So once you over that, you don't want to hear nothing else anymore.
Right, and so I would say it's like the third verse in the past is like you see a good docu-series now or something, right? And you wish it had more. It was so good you wish it was more episodes.
That's a fact.
That's how good the acting
fact.
was, the storyline, you know what I mean, the cinematic tone.
Yep.
Like, so that's kind of how I feel. Like I'm thinking of, like, you know what I mean, it's funny, but like some old Nas song, you know, in the 90s. Like, I wanted a third verse because like the first two was just so crazy. You kind of you just wanted to hear him give it up more.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so
you know who does that for me now? You could probably guess who it is. Like right now, it's a rapper that they could just keep rapping
Well, I was gonna say Benny off the bat.
Okay, so I'm saying Conway.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
And I understand both.
Yep, but it's something about Conway. Like you could just, if with the right beat, he don't ever have to stop. Like just give me verse after verse after. It could be 8 verses on this song. I wouldn't care.
Right, because he's so dope. But that's well. Let me say this before I get to that point. But one thing I notice about Conway, I feel, is that his verses, I feel like a crescendo. All his verses be dope because he's just a dope MC. Period. But like I feel like songs that he's had to have 3 verses or verse by verse is like a upward. It's like a crescendo. Right, it gets better and better. Then that third is like the pinnacle.
Yeah.
So I definitely would love to hear what third verse is.
Yeah, for sure.
By him, but this leads into I think a small conversation about the quality of music over quantity, because everybody getting stuff out so fast and just putting it out. I don't know if people are putting so much into it. Well, okay, let me just put it like this. I feel like right now we got some great music, but I feel like there's more bad music than good music. And the bad music is what's pushed forward and which is more saturating the listener's ears. But with me saying that, I'm saying that to say I feel like where things are now, everything is fast and fast paced. And people's attention spans aren't that long. And I feel like you have to really be super high level intriguing to hold somebody attention in this time for around the third verse. Because they're so used, I feel like because they're so used to getting spoon fed just regular, average stuff.
Pop songs.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so I think that there was more focus put on a pen back then and what you was actually saying and actually being nice, as opposed to today. I don't think that much emphasis is put on you actually being nice and how good you are with the pen. So I can see why. I understand why we don't get third verses.
Yeah, we don't get third verses. I mean, we don't get them because, right? It's quantity over quality, right?
Right.
Like if I gotta have enough options on this project for you to listen to, and hopefully I'll catch one out of all the options that I have on here, versus trying to make a quality project that you have to listen to all the songs to hear the complete concept.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I mean, concept wise, third verses aren't really necessary anyway, because nobody's really telling the story. Like you with a lot of the pop songs, the frame of the song is the same in the first verse, the chorus, the second verse, and the chorus is the same all the way through. There's no art and no story being told that you need to have a third verse to bring the story home, to summarize what you told in the first and second verse.
No beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, I understand that the and if you know for a fact that your goal is to stream more, and people are less or more apt to click off once they get irritated with you, you get more gun shy. You know, you get more gun shy. So I think there's a few reasons that we don't have the third verse as often as we would like. Now there's another one that correlates with that I just want to go ahead and throw out there, because I think they're so close together. I think the other thing that I miss a lot in hip hop is the best rapper going last on the song.
Okay, me too. And I'm going to give some thoughts on that. Okay. But that's so close.
Yeah.
Missing of the third verse.
Right.
And that's what I was going to say. The only time really, and now I don't even like that phrase nowadays in time, but you know, in present time that we get third verses is when it's a feature.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the one that comes to my mind immediately is Benny, Lil Wayne, Big Sean song.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? But I also think that feeds the point that you made. I don't think Big Sean should have went last. He was not the nicest, and nor did he have the best verse on that song.
Big Sean, if anything, should have gone first.
He should have gone first. He should have been the lead hitter.
It should have been Sean, Benny, Wayne.
Facts.
Yeah. If you were doing the song based on like how we would have done it back in the day.
Absolutely.
You know
Lil Wayne was last.
Wayne last.
And let's talk about that, because putting the dopest last, people stick around for the whole song. Even if they don't really feel the first verse or the second verse, they hanging around because they saw this is going to feed into one of mine I'm going to throw out, right?
Okay.
But we're going to stick around because we want to hear our man at the end, the feature. We want to hear that, oh, this featuring Jay, this featuring Nas, this featuring, you know, that was big. Features meant something back then.
Yeah.
And we always knew the feature was back and clean up because he the nicest. I'm going to let everybody throw theirs, and then I'm going to come through and wash it.
Imagine Jay-Z not rapping last on Reservoir Dogs.
How, man, we wouldn't even be talking about that song today if he didn't rap last. Like that wouldn't even have made sense.
It wouldn't have made sense at all.
It would have made no sense.
You wouldn't have listened to the rest of the song back then if Jay wouldn't. Well, that's not true, because locks and beans, yeah.
But that ties into something, right? Too, liner notes. That's one of the things I mean. Liner notes.
I almost got sad when you said those.
I know.
Like, I missed those. Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Speaking of sadness and things being missing, I know you don't mess with it, but I'm going to tell you they closed the damn Snoopy's on Hillsborough Street.
Oh, no. I saw it, but I'm Raleigh to the heart, so I understand. You know what I mean? Yo, I seen that, but
I've been eating this since I was a teenager.
Locations open.
Yo, and that's fine. And that's fine. It's one out here by me.
When it's something different,
boy,
that's different.
Yeah, so rest in peace, Snoopy's off Hillsborough. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Like the parties at my house, man, we could have kept Snoopy's open if I still lived on Boiling.
Right. Because we going there late night.
Oh, late night. We was hitting it up. But, you know, things we missed. That's why it came up in my mind. Things we missed. Salute Snoopy's, man. But liner notes, bro.
Liner notes. Because that's one of the things we want to know who produced it. And that's one of the first things that we did was and that's why I like on Jay-Z third album. I didn't like it, but on I think the Dynasty album is where he talked about if you like me, you rip the package off looking at the notes. That's a fact because that's what we would do.
Yeah.
With the tape and the CD, you looking to see who produced what, who record, where it was recorded at, engineered it,
who programmed the drums.
Right.
Yeah.
All of that meant something to us. You know what I mean? And it created a bond for the music.
It created a universe.
Right, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, liner notes were one of the most... Bro, I don't even know if I would be who I am if liner notes never existed.
No, I feel you.
You see
I
what
understand.
I'm saying? As a beat maker, music producer, you know what I'm saying? I don't know that I would have found everything that I found and gained all the information that I gained without reading the liner notes and following those breadcrumbs to the geniuses, you know what I'm saying, throughout the years. I don't know that I would have found that stuff.
Right. That's interesting. And one of the other things about liner notes was going back into the third verse and person rapping last, right? The main feature rapping last is we looking for the features. Oh, this song feature this person, this song feature this.
Yeah.
You know, all of that. Yep. All of that stuff. But you know that's funny because you can see like certain things like we didn't have a lot of visuals, right?
That's right.
Back then, like so you didn't have a YouTube, you couldn't go Instagram Live, Facebook Live, IG Live, right?
Yeah.
Back then. So you had to do more reading. All of this connects. You had to do more reading then.
Yeah.
Now people are doing less reading and everything is more visual.
And the music is worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
I know.
It reflects because the more you read, the more you're going to learn. You're going to come across new words. You're just able to express yourself more, your creativity more.
Yeah.
Or you just got more tools in the tool belt.
That's right. That's all. That's what it really boils down to. And you know what's funny, man? Liner notes along with the album jackets, man, they actually increase your appetite for gaining information. You know what I mean? Because sometimes the album covers came from somewhere. You know what I mean? It's a reference to something. You know what I mean? Like they just didn't go take a picture or something. You know what I mean? Like it's literally you can refer back to our episode with Chris Charles about the best album covers, greatest album covers of all time. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of times historical references. A lot of times there's clues to the music that you're gonna get in it. You know what I mean? And in the liner notes, bro, if God forbid they actually had the words to the songs in there.
What? Yo, I don't, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the first album I can remember opening up, which was the cassette, was July 7th, 1996. It was written. Nas had the song title and production, all that, and then it's got all the verses written out. And I'm like, yo.
It was like heaven.
Everybody happy?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what. My first one might have been Off the Wall.
Okay.
That experience for me. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And even then, it blew my mind. I know it's not hip hop.
Yeah.
But the boy said, you're a vegetable. You're a buffet. They eat off of you. You're a vegetable. I don't think people know that's what he's saying in that song.
No.
You know what I mean? The boy is talking crazy. He's talking crazy. It's like the song with Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa. Yeah, he's like, you're a vegetable. You're a buffet. They eat off of you. You're a vegetable. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, crazy.
He was going crazy.
Yeah.
He was going crazy. So, like that kind of shit. Bro, I know who Bob Power is. Like, and one thing that you speak to, like, nowadays, you know what Young Guru look like. You know what Mixed by Ali looks like. You know what I'm saying? You know what Dr. Dre looks like. He's one of the greatest producers, engineers of all time. You know what I mean? But Bob Power, who was engineering Trial Called Quest stuff at Electric Lady, you know what I mean? Had no idea he was a white man.
Yeah.
I know I did. He was a white man till years later. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that if Bob Power touched your music, it was gonna come booming out your, you know what I mean, like the speakers.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's just these names. You know,
Yeah.
the people I saw, and I speak of drum programming in the liner notes. There was a time where I wasn't even certain what drum programming was in hip hop.
Mm.
Super young. You know what I'm saying? Like super young. Now looking back, I could like just being able to connect those dots. People don't even get that information anymore.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like to say Kanye did produce the song. If you don't have the liner notes, you don't know that Hudson Mohawk did the drum programming on this song. You don't know that Kenny Beats did the drum programming on this song. So you don't know to go look for Kenny Beats or Hudson Mohawk. You don't know these things because you don't get all these little details.
Right. And that's where the art lives, in the details. That's
Absolutely.
what it is, in the details. And it speaks to a point that you always drill. I feel like you always echo and drill home, is that music is, is a collective, a collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like you're saying, you just say, oh yeah, Kanye made that. But it may be someone else on keys and someone else on string. It's layers to it.
Come
You know,
on.
someone else on bass.
Come on.
You know what I'm
This is
saying?
the stuff I'm talking about. Like, you can say I'm nasty. You can say I'm a nasty beat maker. I'm a nasty producer. But
Right.
without AK laying keys, without AK coming through, without his influence and me saying, oh, I could play a bass tone this way because I heard AK play it this way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, these things, it is collaborative. I don't care how many beats I did by myself. I couldn't have probably got most of those done without his influence.
Right.
You see, or Dallas's influence. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that way. That's what collaboration is. That's what a collective. That's why the music comes out better, bro.
Right.
Now, my music was way hotter, like way more quality when I had a production crew than it was when I was in the room by myself.
Right. Understood. Yeah.
You know, it just is.
Yeah.
You know. So, but yeah, liner notes, man. So it's funny because there's a. I wanna mention something to you too. Truly, just this conversation, because I thought about it, but I hadn't mentioned it to you. I was listening to Broken Record with Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
Right? And he was talking to somebody. He was talking to Kenny Beats, and they was talking about a lot of different, his conversation with Kenny Beats was about being able to follow the breadcrumbs and find out historically where a sound came from in hip hop. Right? Okay. Mm-hmm. But it made me think about the tagline for their show is liner notes for the digital age. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it is kind of liner notes when you listen to the interviews, but it's more conversation and less liner notes. You know what I mean? Yeah. It just made me think of that. But one thing I think we about to do, man, is be a little bit more, is add some content to this show, is to kind of aggregate all the dope content that's out there.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? Like the Dead Prez Juan episode, the Kenny Beats Broken Record episode, the thing that Styles P was talking about online when he was talking about we need a union. You see what I'm saying? I think I think we come across a whole lot more. I think we need to be more of a magazine.
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? And aggregate this content to the crowd that we know needs it, and I think it will run well right alongside what we're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah.
But that's just and I think in that we can find a way to do some liner notes type things.
Yeah. That would be dope.
You know what I mean? I think there's a lane for us to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? So, but yeah, liner notes, man. That's one of the things I miss. Should I just put should I just go ahead and put tangible album art beside that? Tangible album?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just tangible product.
Yeah. While you writing that down, I'm gonna say some people in the digital, we all in this digital age, even though we may be from a non-digital age, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a person nowadays may say, well, what's the difference? You know, I can pull it up on my phone and listen to it, whatever. I don't need the hardcover CD or the hardcore case. Okay, but to me, it makes the music stick longer with you. It creates a deeper bond that's not as easily undone as I'm just strolling through my phone, listening to albums, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because each album, they have its liner notes, have its own visuals to go with it. You don't really get an album cover.
Yep.
You get a picture with that album, but that's it. I mean, you could used to unfold the album. You
actually got to touch
which
it.
a whole nother artwork. Yeah, graphic design and photography. So you're dealing with all types of arts when you're dealing with a tangible album. But it's like this: if I'm talking to a girl, it's nice to talk to her on the phone.
Right.
I don't want to talk to her phone forever.
That's a
At
fact.
some point, I want to be able to reach out and touch her.
That's a fact.
What I mean?
That's a
like,
fact.
so if you don't understand, now I just got to put it clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's a different experience.
It's definitely a different.
On Zoom, it's a different experience when we in the room together.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I mean, it's just
bond.
it's different. That's right. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree, bro. Like being able to physically hold that artwork in your hand,
And that woman in your
and
hand.
that woman, I swear, it means something. I promise it means
Word.
something. But yeah, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ever get it. If you, it's just like, I imagine that it's a lot like sex and a woman until you've actually had it. You don't know what you're missing. You see what I'm saying?
You don't get it. You don't understand the feeling, the sensation of it.
Right. So
you don't know the sensation of the album dropping. You going, yo, I got it.
Right.
And have
right.
You know,
and unwrapping it, putting it in a player, and flipping through. So you getting multiple experiences at one time. You activating multiple senses at one time. So you got touch. You can smell the new paper. You see what I'm saying? You got touch. You reading it. You stimulating the visual. You getting a new audio experience at the same time, and they all lining up if it's done correctly.
Right.
You telling me that's like going to class, and a lot of people are learning online now, right?
Yeah.
So I know for a fact, I don't care what nobody say, if I get up out of my house, take the energy to go to a room, sit in a room with other people and collectively learn, take notes tangibly while the teacher's talking. You understand? I'm going to pick that information up better than I will if I just sit on the Zoom, don't do anything physical while I'm listening.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
It's a different type of learning and acquiring information and knowledge,
exactly.
yeah.
So while you're flipping through that book, touching that information, receiving the audio information at the same time, receiving the video, the visual at the same time, receiving the you know what I'm saying, the smell at the same time, but all that is having a different impact on you than just flipping through Apple Music and clicking a thumbnail.
Mm-hmm. And with all of those sensors, all the that sensory input you're getting from the audio to the tactile to the visual, it helps you memorize the music and what you heard better. People consume a lot of music now. They're not memorizing all of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not like that. And I ain't talking about TikTok dances and fads and stuff that memorize, but like memorizing the experience of when you first, like, I guarantee if we ask let's say someone is young to us, someone that's like 19 right now, or 18, if we ask them their first, I don't know, whatever album came out last year, right? Let's say Drake Scorpion. I know it wasn't last year, but we say, like, do you remember what you was doing when you first heard it? They're not going to memorize that because not enough of their senses was activated in their first experience. And and that's a fact. I learned that from a doctor, that the memory is a lot of other things. Like, if you're trying to memorize if something happened, she said, don't just try to memorize what happened. Think about where you were, what it smelled like. What wearing if you can't like dip. Those things help bring back
That's
the
right.
memory that you're trying to figure out.
That's right.
But if you don't have those things, then I know the music, because we had this, conversation before. We think the music is impacting or sticking with them the same way it did with us in the past?
Right.
And I would have to say, just an opinion wise, I say no, and I have to say scientifically no.
Scientifically, absolutely not. Yeah, it absolutely can't be. It just based on what you just said, there's no way it can be scientifically. It's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So right now we got 4 things on the list.
Okay.
So hit me with some.
Mixtapes.
Yeah, buddy. So maybe we need to explain though, because I think the people think the mixtape has gone through so many different iterations that I think people don't understand. People assume that the mixtape still exists.
Right, and it doesn't.
Only in name.
Right, only in name. And you know how we know it don't exist? Because tapes don't exist, damn it. So stop calling it a mixtape. How you gonna have a mixtape on Apple Music? It ain't a tape.
Right.
No, that's a mixed song.
Yeah.
Which is just a song.
That's just a long ass playlist.
Yeah, ain't no mixtape. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
a mixtape was actually a cassette tape of a mix of different artists that was on, and sometimes upcoming artists.
Yeah.
Usually the popping artists, the most popular artists at the time, was like they would have main features on the mixtape.
Yeah.
And some, you know what I mean? And sometimes it would be a mixtape of usually a mix of variety of different artists. But then there was mixtapes where it was just a Jay-Z mixtape.
This is the question I want to ask.
Just the Nas mixtape.
Okay, so I'm older than you, right? So I came through a couple eras of the mixtape probably before you was getting on to them, right?
Right.
So like the Ron G and the blend tapes. So there's the blend tape era.
Blend tape. Yes.
And then there's a mixtape era.
Mixtape.
A true mixtape era. And then there's the mixtape era that's closer to what we get now, which is the last thing you mentioned, where it may be all Jay-Z, or it may be all Wayne, or it may be all 50, or it may be those are more street albums,
like the last stage, I would say.
Street albums,
right?
Which is basically what we got now,
right? And then just like a DJ hosting, saying a few things, hosting it,
right?
You know what I mean? But no. So let me say this. When I think of, I'm gonna just throw some stuff out there. When I think of mixtapes, right?
Yeah.
So I do remember blends.
Yeah.
Right. But not to the point you do. But I was on blends. But when I think of mixtapes, I'm thinking of Doo Wop Live '95 mixtape.
Okay.
Right. I'm thinking of Ron G. I'm thinking of DJ SNS, DJ Clue.
Okay.
I think I said Doo Wop.
Yeah. How about White Owl?
I'm thinking no. I know it was a trick question, but you know what I mean. Nah. But K Slate comes in the
Rest
later.
in peace,
90s,
White Owl, bro.
Early too, R.P. to White Owl.
Yeah,
you know,
but
hold it down for them years.
For sure.
So I'm thinking of those people, and for me, like the epitome of the mixtape era, like what the climax of the mixtape area would be like when Clue. There was a time when Clue was everything.
Yeah.
You wanted to be on Clue, and you wanted your song to feature in one of the first 5 spots.
Yeah. Clue got to the point where he was the epitome of the mixtape. If you had to name the epitome of mixtapes, right? If there was a Mount Rushmore of mixtapes, Clue, Drama, Ron G, who else?
Clue, Drama, Ron G. I feel like,
you know,
not
Capri. Not really, because I don't remember Capri's
not
tapes.
really.
Like,
and even with Flex, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't say Flex either.
Hell no.
I wouldn't say Flex either.
Hell no.
You know, it's funny because when you're talking about, we may have to. I don't know, but Street Sweeper. What's my man
K
name?
Slay.
K-Slay. You may have to. I don't know. I hate to say it like that, but by default, you may end up putting them in there because the other people. Look who we just X'd out.
Right.
We
But I
X'd out.
mean, yeah, we X'd out Capri because I think the era that Capri would be. I think in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Capri is blends and a party DJ.
Right.
It was less about the tape for me.
Right.
For Capri, he ended up being the party DJ. Doo-wop.
Now I was gonna say doo-wop. Right,
Doo-wop or Green Lantern.
Doo-wop or Green Lantern, and I feel like I would lean maybe more so to Green Lantern. You may put both of them.
Yeah. Maybe they run side by side, but Green Lantern did have that, like that 50 run with Green Lantern was something else.
Yeah.
That was something
crazy.
else. You know. But yeah, so mixtapes, bro. We don't
because let's say this too, so people to understand, like mixtapes is where you would hear new. It would a new Clue, you know what I mean? New doo-wop. It would feature new music by your favorite artist that was yet to be released.
Right.
So that was big. You had to stay on top of the mixtapes too, because you know what I mean, you want to hear everything. Right. And you know something could get by if you ain't on the up on the latest mix.
Yeah, you got to be on them. You definitely mixtapes was a way to break artists back in the day.
Absolutely.
You know, you would hear artists on mixtapes for maybe 6 months to a year before you even knew what they looked like. How long did you know about Fabulous and Mace before you knew what they looked like?
I knew about them a while before I actually seen a picture of them.
That's what I'm saying. They was running mixtapes before I knew what they looked like.
From the mixtapes, we hadn't even seen Fab yet. Hadn't even seen Mace yet.
They was pretty much stars. They was pretty much stars before we even knew what they looked like, just off mixtape runs.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, mixtapes held weight. Mixtapes were our radio.
Right.
Because in that time, you could fight to get to radio, but the chances that you actually got on radio, you had to have a complete crossover hit. All I need to get by Mary and Meth type hit to be playing on the radio back in them days. So we wasn't expecting to hear you on the radio for 2 or 3 years anyway.
Right, because it was heavily dominated by R&B. So for you to get played, you definitely had to have a major hit.
Yeah, or somebody singing on your hook.
Yep. That's
the other way. Yeah. So, man, true mixtapes is what I wrote down.
True mixtapes. That's good.
Yeah, true mixtapes. Because nowadays, what they
walked into something else.
What today?
Well, in later years or the last stage.
Yeah. Well, what it is it became a way not to pay producers. I can still say I'm doing that. I could go get all these beats from producers and say I'm putting together this mixtape, right? I don't have no budget because it's a mixtape. The label didn't give me a budget for it, but when I take it to the label, they gonna run it through the system like an album. You see what I'm saying? The artist is not gonna get paid the same way. The producers ain't gonna get paid shit, but the labels is gonna get their bread. You know what I mean? So what started as a way to skim, like to kind of cut the producers out a little bit, ended up cutting the artists out. Because what the artists were doing back, like prior, was going straight to the streets and selling it. A physical CD.
Yeah, physical. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But now that's not happening. It's going straight to streaming. So they not getting the profits as quickly as they were, or even close. They're not even really getting them like they were. Because the profits is going to the labels now.
Right.
So there are no real true mixtapes anymore. One, because there aren't any tapes. Two, because the mixtape actually enters the label system. When before that's just not what happened.
Right. It wasn't. It was a direct to consumer thing that echoed the true sentiment of the streets.
Yep. That's a beautiful way to put it. It was a direct to consumer thing that echoed the true consumer on the street. Yeah, I love that. I love that. All right, what else we got?
Oh man. Um, Mixtapes, liner notes. Uh,
Let's all right. We'll say third
yeah,
verses.
third verse.
Best artist going last. Liner notes. Physical copies, and true
Mhm.
mixtapes.
That's five,
Yeah,
right?
that's five.
Okay. So another five.
Yeah, we just gotta come up with another five. We might have
I
a
know. I
10 on
know.
the
There's
way.
another five,
Oh,
and,
definitely.
and, and I ain't even pulled really from the last time. Outside of liner notes, but
Yeah.
um, man, I'm thinking.
I got one that I miss personally,
Okay.
right? I miss when rappers had dancers.
Mm,
Like Scoob and Scrap. That
real
like
dance.
dancers.
Heavy D and the boys.
Heavy
Real
D and the
dancers.
boys. Like yes, it was a fucking rap group. And the rap group was more than the rapper and the DJ. It was the dancer, the DJ, the rapper. It was the fucking group.
And they was all in sync. The rappers rapping and dancing with the
And
dancers, the
dancing.
dance routine.
That's right. That's right. You see them? I miss that. I miss dancers. You know, having
Yeah.
been one, I miss it.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think it's a missed opportunity, bro. The music today is made for dancing.
That's the irony. It's made for dance.
It's made for
Yeah.
dancing. So imagine you know what I mean? Like if you nice and you got two motherfuckers back here that's got the nicest routine, that shit going viral. Every single video you shoot going viral. If y'all really nice, you see what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to go. Like they wasting these opportunities by not being dancers or having backup dancers. It's a playful art form. Like everybody want to be so tough, but everybody ain't tough.
Right, right. And we know that.
And we know they not tough. So they might as well have these dancers. You know what I'm saying? I miss background. I miss backup dancers.
And you know the funny thing is they were in it didn't matter really what type of song it was, they were in them all.
Nigga, Cool G Rap had dancers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking of like some of the streeters artists,
Yeah.
but they had
Cool G Rap had backup dancers, nigga, and they was gangster. Like, you know, Cool G Rap was gangster, but and the moves that they did were a little, should I say, edgier than what Scoob and Scrap was doing. Scoob and Scrap was a little more finesse. I can't even remember the name of Cool G Rap dancers, and I did know it. Don't get me wrong, I knew it.
Yeah, I know you did.
God, no, but they was more like, just for a lack of it, they went to the ground more. They was more aggressive with how they, you know what I'm saying, how they move things. It was just, they reflected what Cool G Rap was, even in their movements. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild. So you talking about a smooth rap-o-matic guy with dancers,
Right.
and then you
right.
talking about a gangster guy with dancers. But you can see the reflection in both. Just like EPMD's dancers. Or dancer. I don't even know what his name was. We just call him Mophead. And he was ill. Got to see him live. He was ill. He was ill.
Yeah.
Niggas need that.
Yeah.
Niggas need that. Niggas need that. So that's my little thing. I think it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Who was doing the little shoot dance? Was that Young Boy or was that, I don't know which one it was.
I don't even
The
know.
game the dance ended up on Fortnite.
A Fortnite.
Yeah. Shit ended up on Fortnite. You know, how could you see that it gets this big and not take full advantage of it?
Yeah.
Like nobody else saw that? I don't get it, but hey. Yeah. Backup dancers for hip hop.
Backup dancers.
Yeah, I miss them.
Okay. I wanted, and maybe you can help me out with this, but I want to say, I was gonna say a single, but then you put true on something else. True mixtape, a true single.
Ooh.
You remember singles that were really singles, and they had an accompanying video, not a 2-pack, a 3-pack song release. No, an actual single that was the single off the album that had an accompanying video.
It might even have a remix.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Or an
I have
extended
two
version.
different mixes.
Yeah. A true single.
A true single,
Yeah.
and then because it'll be the original. It'll be the original, dirty version, clean version, a remix, and an instrumental or acapella if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah. But you would definitely get that instrumental. You might not get an acapella, but you was getting.
You might not get acapella. If you got the vinyl, you may get acapella.
Yeah.
But the tape, yeah.
Instrumental was gonna be on there.
Getting instrumental.
Yeah, a true single. Yeah, I miss them.
A true single.
You know how many singles I stole in my lifetime? Oh my god!
I can imagine.
Whew. Buddy.
Yeah.
I can't. Yo.
But that single, to me, it like let me know something. And I know they'll be like, man, you bringing up Jay a lot. It ain't even that. It's just certain things that was done was just like a standard then. Like when Jay released Dead President, it had 3 different versions. Do people understand it's 3 different versions?
They don't. They
I
do
want
not.
money like Cosby, who wouldn't? It's that kind of talk that made me think you probably ain't got no pudding.
Yeah.
That is not on the album that's released that we have.
Nope.
And that's not the same thing that's on the video.
Right.
Yo, so the singles was dope to me because you just got to see, and sometimes you got to see what an artist could do with the same thing, kind of the idea if you had with people on the same beat.
Yeah.
But like different verses, you know what I mean? But not only that, singles was good because it was just like an appetizer that kind of reeled you in for the main course.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on the flip side of that, I think on the B side was Feeling It. I know for a fact it was Feeling It.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But that, you know what I mean? Singles though, man. Singles was big. It meant something.
Singles were important.
Important. And it kept you kind of locked in until the joint drop.
Yeah. Do you know how many times? Okay. So when Biggie first came out, he was Biggie Smalls.
Mm-hmm.
Not long after that, they made him change his name.
Right.
So by the time the first album came out, it was Notorious B.I.G. Right. So you never saw Biggie Smalls again. But there was an artist named Biggie Smalls. Do you know how many times I stole the wrong Biggie Smalls single?
Thinking you was getting...
Yo, after a while I knew. It's like, after a while I knew. I just wanted it to be big so bad.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even, it never was, though. It never was. It never was the right Biggie, I promise. It was some trash. But, I probably stole that single 3 times. I still remember what it looks like.
Yeah, that's
But crazy. I remember what this part of it looked like. Not the cover. The part that you can see before you stole it. Mm-hmm. I remember what that part looked like.
Mm-hmm. And this lead me into something. Because I want to make a point about singles, damn it.
Yeah.
But it lead me into number 7, record stores.
ComeOnWithIt.com.
Starship.
Yes, Lord. Hey,
you know what I mean? Even
bro,
like Sam Goody.
Bro, we was like the niggas off Juice in there.
That's a fact. Are you sick, bro? I racked up.
But do you understand? I didn't realize that we was like the niggas off Juice while we was in there. I'm just like that hit me maybe a couple weeks ago. I rewatched Juice and was like, damn, we was doing that in Starship. But we wasn't influenced by it. It was literally our lives. It was hip hop. That's how hip hop the movie was. Right.
Because the movie is actually depicting what people was actually doing and consuming the way we was consuming the music.
Any way possible. If you can get your hands on it, get it. If you got to steal it, get it.
Right. And now check it. If you remember, and I'm glad I said that about singles because, and this will let me to the thought, if you remember, especially, most all of the stores, singles, there was a section for singles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then the section for the albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I, you know what I mean? You didn't know what was gonna pop up over there in the singles.
Yeah,
So
no
you gotta
idea.
check that.
You gotta, I mean, you gotta skyro it though.
You for real.
Like you have to. It's like looking for. You know what I mean? You gotta look at all of them. Because it wasn't no way to know what was coming out, what single was dropping. Like you go in there, you get a surprise.
Yeah.
You know. And most times, back then, that single was in the store way before there was a video.
Yeah, for sure.
They had to sell enough of them shits to get a video budget for a lot of that stuff. It seemed like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, record stores, man. I had some of the greatest times of my life in a record store. You know what I mean? Like literally, some of the best times of my life was sit not doing shit, but shopping for records. Like the experience of leaving the house, headed towards getting that record, the excitement of buying the record, popping the seal on that joint, and listening to it for the rest of the, you know what I mean, until the next thing came out.
Right. And see and this is the thing what we keep talking about. See, if you have never, and the key word to this whole thing is experience. If you never experienced this for real, then you don't understand the rush, the feeling.
There you go.
I know that. You and I, we know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's true though. This is real old head talk.
Yeah.
If you ain't, you know what I mean? Like for real. If it's certain things that if you didn't live through it and you didn't experience it, I could tell you I miss it, and to you it sounds like I'm talking about some bullshit.
Right.
Like why would you even need that? Like who needs that? It's not a need. Because obviously you can get the music without any of these things that we're talking about. We're not talking about need. We're talking about experience.
Right. And man, damn. This is really, I'm just watching what we're saying that we missed and where things are now. And like the comparisons, like, and the comparison and contrasting that's being done and how we talked about it was more reading then and let's read now and it's reflected in the music. But yo, see, what we're talking about, I can sit right here in my house and pull up on my iPhone, on Apple Music, pull up whatever I want.
Right.
But no, we talking about living a real life, living hip hop. People ain't even living hip hop. You're listening to hip hop in a phone. You ain't even really living it. See, we had to get up out your damn house, go into a store with other people that love hip hop as much as you do, interact with them, interface with different people from different walks of life that love the same thing that you love. That was an experience.
Yeah.
That's life. That's human interaction. You know what I mean? That's hip hop.
Listen.
Not just being super isolated in your house, listening to stuff on the computer.
Yeah.
You ain't living it.
Let me tell you something.
If ain't nothing else, let me tell you something. We live this.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you, bro. I remember I was in the same Best Buy that me and you bought 444. I was in that same Best Buy.
Yeah.
And I was buying the Game documentary album. And there was a dude behind me in line. And he was like, yo, we both had the bootleg. He was buying it too.
Yeah.
We both had the bootleg. We looked at each other. He looked at me. He was like, yo, that shit a classic. And I was like, hell. We ended up buying the real one. Because it was so fucking good. We was like, yo, we gotta have it.
Talk. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But that's an experience that me and this complete stranger on a random Friday in a Best Buy, standing beside each other with the same product in hand, living a hip hop experience. Because we so hip hop, we had to have it early. We got the bootleg, but it's so dope. We respect it so much. We both in the store copying. Right,
and that's what I want. Yeah, man, you alley hooping me some stuff. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like that the experience, bro, of hip hop, living hip hop. That there is a reason that when we walk out the house, you can look at us and tell what music we listen to.
Right.
I'm 45 years old. There is a reason that you can look at me and tell what kind of music I listen to. You can't look at my daddy and tell what kind of music he listens to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
But you can look at me and tell what kind of music I listen to because it's hip hop. It's in my blood. Like it's literally I lived through it. I came all the way through it.
Right, literally.
As did you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things. Like you gotta them experiences or something else. You said I was alley-ooping you though. What was
Yo, another experience, yo. But something I missed too.
Mm-hmm.
Underground albums.
Ooh.
We call them underground albums, but they were bootlegs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I don't mean like a bootleg of the actual official album. No. We talking about that the label ain't put no album out. Somehow the album got out.
There you go.
We called it the underground album, like the underground version of the album. So let me give an experience of what I'm talking about. 97. It's 97. Go to Mr. Free. Now, well, first of all, Capone and Noriega emerges on the scene. I hear Illegal Life on a mixtape.
Okay.
Like they like popping, they're buzzing, right? So we hear the album is set to come out, and they signed their deal, and like before they gave I think a projected date in the magazine. There was a date or whatever, but anyway, before it came out, you could always go and check certain spots to see if they had the underground version. We went on a Saturday to Mr. Freeze. Yo, you got Capone Noriega, that War Report album? So sure enough, he had an underground version.
Oh, no.
Did you understand how fire our Saturday was from that point on? That was like 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
We are lit for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's it.
Check. So now this is the thing that people listening don't even understand. So I have to explain. But when you got the underground version of an album, like before it came out, some unreleased joint that ain't even really supposed to be out, like it almost was like it was mixed, but it was like a rough final version because it's a rough final version because some of the songs ain't even up there. So like, probably ain't even heard. Married to Marijuana. I bought it anytime I wanna. It was a song called Married to Marijuana, just Nori. That came on after Blood Money.
Wow.
So I got the actual album drop. There was no driver's seat.
Right.
But when the album come out, driver's seat. With Busta Rhymes talking at the end and doing ad-libs. That when the album dropped, I'm looking for I want Married to Marijuana as track 2. But no driver's seat. Right. Which I'm happy with. That was good. But I'm just saying, see, if you don't understand that or you didn't know about that version, you don't even know that song is out there and exists. You can pull it up. You know what I mean? Today. But but I loved it because what it ultimately ended up doing, and of course we bought the album because it was so good and we loved the artists, we supported them. So I'll buy the bootleg and I'm buying the official joint.
And you know what? We bought the album a lot of times. We needed the fucking liner notes, bro. We need the physical. We need the information. We got the music, but it's not complete without the information.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And let me say this, like from even like a scholastic standpoint, I'm glad you said that the liner notes is important because it's like when you're writing a book, that's academic in nature, and from doing papers in school, you got to cite your sources.
Facts.
So the liner notes let you know who produced what, who played what, who wrote what. So it's the source. It's your, you know what I mean, your reference page. You need that.
You need that. Especially if you're going to try to go create the shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're going to go try to create it, you probably need to know who did what so you can figure out who these people are. The underground album thing, man. So is Capone and Noriega your favorite underground album? Like based on experience or
so the second underground was this is funny. Would have been so that was one of the best underground albums.
Okay.
Me, right? But the best may have been Nas.
I knew that.
The underground version of I think it was the underground version of Nostradamus.
Which is an actual good album.
That
it's
thing
a classic.
Was mind blowing. Yeah. It was a classic.
It didn't make the light of day though.
didn't see the light day, but it had a lot of the stuff, or at least a few songs off of the Lost Tapes. Volume 1 was up there. Blazer 50 was up there.
Yes, Lord.
Drunk by Myself was up there. What?
God. Yo, that Nas Underground album was probably one of the best Nas albums, period. If not the best.
Yeah. If not the best.
If
I
not
agree.
the best.
If not the best. Yeah.
I agree. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
That shit was crazy. I'm gonna tell you what though. It was 98, 99, and I got hold of Jay-Z's Underground album. Yo, me and Paul did some pretty riding to that, buddy. We was out in the streets to that Jay-Z, buddy. Oh man, we was in the streets to that Jay-Z Underground album, bro. But there's a lot. 50 Underground albums were great. But he not that, you see what I'm saying? Not like his weren't official, like supposed to be official. Like he was literally doing underground albums.
Right. But one, what the Power of the Dollar was supposed to come out on Columbia when he was signed, but for whatever reasons it didn't. I mean, he had a song with Destiny's Child on that joint. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that was one of my favorite albums too. It had, of course, the classic Ghetto Quran on it. He had a bunch of joints. Yeah. He had a bunch of joints. And he sings on at least 5 songs on that album.
Yeah. That's who he was.
Yeah.
I got another one, dog.
Yeah.
Music video vehicles. Because music videos still exist. Everybody's making them.
I knew he was going.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody's making them. Like, there's no shortage of music videos.
Right.
But there is no aggregate. You know what I mean? There's no Yo MTV Raps. There's no 106 in Park. There's no Rap City. There's no shit.
BT Soul.
BT Soul. Whatever the hell it was. What was the joint on the West Coast with D Barnes? Pump It Up.
Oh, Pump It Up.
Ain't no Pump It Ups. You know what I mean? So, no, not even video music box, bro. We don't have nothing. Right. So, it's like everything is in a silo. If your favorite artist don't make sure that you know that he got a video out, you'll never know the shit.
Yeah. Yo, I ran across so many videos that I didn't even know was out about like you're saying, like some of the favorite artists. Yeah. Like, I just found out, like, Boogie, he's dropping a video every week now. Like a freestyle video every week.
Yeah. But you wouldn't know it.
Came across it.
Yep. But there should be a show that's highlighting stuff like that, bro. But how do you show the video? You understand what I'm saying? Like, I had a conversation a couple weeks ago, like trying to figure out how to format something like this. We could do a video show. Like, why wouldn't we be able to do it? But I just don't know how we get the rights to play the video.
Get what you're saying?
How do we speak about the video, introduce the video, and then make it play? I just can't figure that part out. But if I get that figured out, Conversate for a Few is going to have a vehicle to introduce people to new music videos. And I think people want it.
Yeah.
You know? I think people want it.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, months have went by and like a video to a song I liked off an album had been out for months and I didn't even know. Like,
yeah, most of the songs you like, or I like, most of the songs we like got videos, bro. Got
videos. I know, which is funny because now look at the irony of it. Back then, we didn't get a lot of videos, so we you know what I mean, we set our VHS tapes to record them videos on Rap City or whatever. Yep. Like now we flooded with videos, but the crazy thing is from our favorite artists, but we don't even know they out.
You don't know they out. There's no
central location to highlight it and let us know that it's there.
So I mean, that's one thing that I wonder, is it just something that we miss because we got used to it being there? And the kids don't miss it because they never gave a damn about it. You know what I'm saying? Or would the kids eat that shit up?
I think they would. I think that because let's say that it functions as like a single. Because remember the single and then the video. Right. So how how would you say, I guess this would kind of answer the question to a certain degree. How would you say that most people, it don't matter the age group, how do most people now learn about new music?
Mm.
Because there's no mixtapes breaking artists, and you don't even name no videos. Like, I'll be looking at Rap City and a new video, they would have a new joint of the day. Remember
Right,
that?
right.
New joint of the day would be an artist you ain't never heard from. You know what I mean? And so you would learn new artists from the
Right.
video or from the mixtape. So, like,
But see, I don't think the videos are really a part of discovery today, because a lot of times when I find out about a music video, by the time I get to it, that shit's got 200,000 to 1 million views already.
mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It may be new, but it's not. It may be new to me.
Right.
You see what I mean? But so I don't know. I guess I'm
So
saying that to say that the kids seem to be finding the videos without the vehicle. That's kind of what I'm saying. If,
Right.
if by the time I get there, it's already got 500,000 views, then goddamn it, somebody know it's here.
Right. So, but it still begs the question for me. But
How?
is where do where do they find out about new artists?
Yeah.
Is it only from music that's already out, like the person features on the song, so then it's like, oh, this is a new like how?
I think I think it's the same way it always was, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think you put enough product out until it finally, if it finds me, the chances are it's gonna find you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because we talk at least once a week for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's how it happens. And with younger people, it just happens faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because they talk to each other more. They're more communal. They're more, you see what I'm saying? And they share things differently. It's so I think that's how they find it. Now I think the algorithms do a decent job presenting new music.
Okay.
And I think a younger audience is more apt to give new music a chance. Like when I'm on Apple Music and I'm looking through the browse thing and I don't recognize half of the names, I skip half of the fucking names.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like if I don't recognize them, I skip them.
Mm-hmm.
Until I hear some music that's going to draw me in. If I don't hear nothing, I'm just not going to pick your name and see what you sound like.
Right. Nah.
I don't think they doing that either. And I think if you on a label, I think the labels are paying out the wazoo to get you on playlists. Playlists, you know what I'm saying? Playlists now is the new radio. So that's where the payolo's going. And I think that's where the artists will get being broken. That's what it is. It really boils down to being able to get your artist on those playlists next to the artist that's selling millions of records.
Got you.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
I build a relationship with the label, and on Fridays and they got the new things come out. Like there's thousands of albums that drop every Friday, but there's probably 20 that get highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's one of those things.
Yeah.
And then you got labels that, of course, the old tried and true thing is when I finally do get the crowd of people or get somebody like me, for instance, to go invest my time in an artist on YouTube and find out, okay, I heard about this guy. Who is he? And I go look him up. They're smart enough to know that by the time I get there, it needs to look like 500,000 people have already listened to this shit, whether 2 people have listened to it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of the trick. Is appearing popular and exclusive at the same time.
Right. It's funny. This is just a random side note question. Have you ever do you ever remember being the first person or the first 100 people to look at a video? Like, would you ever like a new Drake video dropping? You was the first person to see it.
I could tell you who I have been, but it was for artists we know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Personally.
Got you.
and been within the first 100 or 200 or 300.
Okay.
But they not playing with the numbers.
Right. Exactly. That's my point.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this guy's a popular guy. He signed. He knows. You know what I'm saying? He done did some major shit. When you get to his videos, he's not juicing his stats. So when you get to his videos, it doesn't look like he's juicing his stats.
Right.
You know what I mean? When, for instance, the guy Moray from Fayetteville, when I stumbled on him for the first time, this nigga's from Fayetteville. When I stumbled on him for the first time, he already had 2 million views on YouTube.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
How? Everybody in the comments is like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Never heard of him. Never heard of him. How the fuck you got 500? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That fast too.
Yeah. Right. Like, and now it's over 2 to 3 million.
Yeah.
Like his counter is going up crazy, but it'll start to go up after it's spurred. You know, so that's the thing. And damn, we way off topic, ain't we?
I know. It was a good.
It was a good sidebar. It was a good sidebar. Where we at, yo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, we are?
We right at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So it's third verses. Best goes last. Liner notes. Physical product. True mixtapes. Backup dancers. True single. Record stores. Music video vehicles. And underground albums.
I'm happy. I'm happy with it. I like it. All of it make me happy.
All of it make
me happy.
Yeah, I like it too. It makes me happy. It makes me sad that we missing all these things, but I like it.
I know.
I like it though. Like I mean, I don't know that there are things that I miss more.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like if it was a personal list of things that I miss when I'm looking at hip hop, this list here, you know, I think, and it kind of speaks to the things when I'm listening to music. It's like, damn, man, what the hell? There's a store called Hunky Dory. It's over by Peace College.
Yeah.
It's a record store, record shop. I've been dying to go in there just because it's a new record shop. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yo, I gotta go up in that joint and see what's in there. I ain't even got no fucking record player.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I don't even have a turntable, bro. You know what I mean? Well, actually, this went in the trunk, but that's Jerusalem, so I ain't gonna plug that up and get used to it. But yeah, man, so, but just to go in there and smell the vinyl and get your fingers dirty flipping through vinyl, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something I definitely miss, but that's not necessarily about hip hop. That's something I miss for my life. Is record hunting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that shit used to be fun. That was like going on a gold hunt, like go gold mining, but you don't sift until you get to the crib.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gather all this shit and then you get to the crib and start sifting through it and see if you found some gold.
Yeah.
If you nice though, every album got gold on it.
That's true. You can be able to pull something.
Yeah,
usually.
if you nice, I don't give a shit what you buy. You should be able to make heat. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't know, man. What you think? The show didn't go the way it was planned.
Yeah.
Because
but it went perfect.
But it went perfect.
I like it, and I think the listeners will like it.
I think so too. I think this was a real honest conversation.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. When they listen to the explanation for why those are the top 10 things missed, they'll wish they was there at the time.
Yeah, I think so. And the people that did live through this stuff probably going to agree.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be hyped.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one or two that you don't think they're going to be hype about or they won't agree with, which ones would they be?
I think it would be backup dancers, and
That's the same. That's the one I was thinking.
I don't know because I feel like all the other ones. I think all the other ones they would agree with. Maybe maybe be a age split on video music view. Maybe an age split because the people that was there are going to agree heavy.
Right. See, I'm thinking backup dancers, the third verse, and the best going last. I think only the truest of hip hop heads are gonna give a shit about the third verse and the best person going last.
That's true. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like you gotta be a purist to give a damn about that. So I don't know that the average listener is gonna care about that, and I don't know that many people are gonna give a damn about background dancers. I think that's gonna sound crazy to most people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I understand it. I'm standing strong on it, but
but that was a part of hip hop.
It was definitely a part of hip hop.
It's a lost part of the art of hip hop.
Right, for sure. But yeah, man, I'm gonna read the list one more time, man, before we get out of here.
Okay.
All right. Top 10 things we miss most in hip hop. Third verses. Best rapper going last. Liner notes. Physical copies. True mixtapes. Backup dancers. True singles. Record stores. Music video vehicles. And underground albums / bootlegs.
I like it. Now, this is where I have a question. Would this have been able to be eligible, not even if it would have made the list, but been eligible for the list? House parties.
Ooh, no, because the young ones still having kickbacks. They still doing it. We just don't do it.
Okay.
They doing it.
Yeah, they're having kickbacks. I don't know if they, and so I should be, so how we had to add the name Real to two of the joints. Real house party. House party, you gonna dance.
You talking about some real niggas in there dancing.
I'm talking about
you talking about dancing in the house. Yeah, I don't know.
You practice some moves before you got there.
Yeah, I don't know that they do that no more.
Okay, yeah.
You know what, bro? Do you think my generation stopped that shit? Do you think it stopped with my generation?
No, because I'm saying it because I'm 39 and you're 45, and we were still having house parties.
Okay.
Like an actual house.
Yeah, people was partying in that joint.
Partying in there, dancing to the music.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when Juice came out, and I know Jermaine was there, Crystal Detman.
Come on with it.
Idlewood had a house party too around that time.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's all I need to know. Okay. Shout out Crystal Detman, yo.
Yeah,
and shout out Jermaine. Come on,
shout out Jermaine.
As the honorary third member of this episode.
Absolutely.
You see how I came full circle all the way back to Jermaine? You see how you did that? You see how you did that? You good, boy. You good. Oh, boy. Yeah, man. I enjoyed this, though. I enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know. You think we did enough, though?
Yeah, I think we did. We might end up having to do a part 2, but I think we did enough for now.
Yeah, we could definitely do a part 2. I would enjoy having another conversation about it, so... Yeah. So if we did enough, you think we did enough, man, we can go ahead and end this thing up. And I can ask everybody to go follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Conversate for a Few. Oh, the group. It's I think we up to like 160, 150 something in there now.
That's good.
Yeah, so she growing. Excuse me, y'all, for my eyes watering. I swear allergies is killing me. But yeah, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Conversate for a Few. Please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Conversate for a few YouTube, and hit the notification bell so you know we drop an episode every week. Sometimes it's Wednesday, sometimes it's Thursday, sometimes it's Friday. It's all my fault. Yay. Forgive me, please. We're gonna get more consistent, man. We're gonna try to figure out ways to get y'all more content. Stay tuned for the limited edition Tang Clan merch. Promise is coming. The Tang, the Conversate for a Few notebook is coming too. What else I need to tell these people, bro? Fuck it, that's it. What's it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
that
it.
book was the last year.
That's the last thing. All right, well, I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This is not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely is not. This is a podcast about hip hop. Make room for the tag.
Conversate for a few.
Hustle, welcome, man, they had to send me. Hustle from Raleigh, live from NC with your hosts, John and Alan. Relate to the two. You are now listening to Conversate for a Few. Check it on SoundCloud, debate with your crew. They talking hip hop from the late to the new. From July till June end. No Fridays for me. Tune in. Please listen to this podcast. 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 Please listen to this podcast.